Hey guys, today we are going to be talking about good ways to get rings in Rival Kingdoms. Now, rings are needed for most high-level building upgrades in Rival Kingdoms. When you first start playing Rival Kingdoms, you really need gold. That's sort of the main resource that gets everything done. But as you progress and become more experienced and have a much stronger base and have higher upgrades, they tend to need rings, and rings sort of become the main resource, and gold becomes sort of a secondary resource that you always have lots of, but you're really working to get the rings. In particular, the strongholds tend to need a lot of rings to upgrade. For example, Stronghold 12, which I'm currently working towards, I need 5,000 rings. So that's quite a grind, and I'm looking to get rings any way that I can possibly get them. So there are lots of ways to get rings, and I'm going to try and mention as many of them as possible. So the first one I have here are achievements. And again, achievements, just like with diamonds, are nice because you know exactly what you need to do and you know exactly the reward that you're going to get for spending those resources to get the achievement. So next, obviously, we have battles. Using all of your battle stones per day will maximize the number of rings that you're going to get. Now, the other thing you have to keep in mind is that by fighting stronger bases and getting on a long streak, those matches will get you more rings per win than they will if you're fighting easy opponents. For example, I might get 9 rings when I'm deep into a streak compared to only 5 if I just started one. You earn a lot of battle stones per day, so don't let any go to waste if you're serious about getting the maximum number of rings possible. The third thing are tournaments. You can participate in a tournament every couple of days, and you earn rings based on your final placement in the event. Now, I have a separate video that talks about the strategy for these tournaments, but basically, you want to try and get in at least the top 10. And the very first spot, which is very difficult to get, gets a lot more rings than the second place spot does. But generally, I aim for a top 10 finish. In the last tournament that I participated in, I won 160 rings from finishing 6th. So that's not too shabby, and you definitely want to make sure that you're participating in these. The next thing are kingdom raids, or specifically the final placement of your kingdom in your kingdom league after your 5 battles have been played out. Your entire kingdom will receive rings as a reward based on your placement in the league. And of course, these rewards, they vary based on which league you are participating in. So the higher leagues get more rings as a reward than the lower ones do. And obviously, first place gets a lot more than the lower places. So this is really an incentive to be in a kingdom that is able to win its raids and get a high placement in the league so you can get as many rings as possible. Next, we have promo codes. Now, most promo codes do not give out rings, but I specifically recall a few of them actually giving out like 20 to 40 rings. I would really pay close attention to future promo codes because they generally have expiration dates, so you want to make sure that you know about them as soon as possible and are able to get the rewards. In this same train of thought, I actually wouldn't be surprised if in the future rings are a daily reward. They are not right now, or at least not as far as I can see in my chart, but they could be in the future. You can already get diamonds from daily rewards. I wouldn't be surprised if rings were eventually something in there too. The final method that I'm going to mention is Guardian mode, which most players will not have reached and probably isn't an option for them, but in the long term, just keep in mind that rings are a reward for doing well in Guardian mode whenever you get there. Anyways, I think I covered everything. Let me know if I missed anything. And as always, thanks for watching, and I hope you found something useful.